ago, I made a video talking about how difficult it was and venting my frustrations with trying to get tickets to go see My Chemical Romance when they had first got back together and started touring and making music again. But that experience was not nearly as difficult as it was to get tickets to go see Bruce Springsteen. To kind of sum it up, as much as I love the Wells Fargo Center, I think it's a great venue. I've been there countless times. Its website is admittedly terrible. Anytime there's any sort of high volume or high traffic, it crashes, people get kicked out of queue, ticket orders get lost. It's a absolute nightmare. So the journey to get Bruce Springsteen tickets for his 2023 tour took me 6 hours. 6 long, painful, agonizing hours, hoping and praying and cursing that my tickets would go through. And luckily, I was able to snag some. I know that Bruce Springsteen is one of those artists where once his tickets go on sale, he is one of the ones where they get scalped pretty quickly and they can go for rather exorbitant prices. And as time came closer to the concert, I was thinking to myself, was it worth it? The reason why I asked that question is that I was actually not really that much of a Bruce Springsteen fan. It was more so my mom was a fan and who I went to the concert with because she really wanted to go. I knew a couple of songs. I knew Born in the USA, Blinded by the Light, Dancing in the Dark, I'm on Fire. Admittedly, most of those songs are from the album Born in the USA. I guess what kind of turned me off when I was, young and foolish with Bruce Springsteen is I was under the impression that his music was more so like hyper fanaticism American versus patriotic American. Fanaticism being like hyper pro-American, we can do no wrong, we make no mistakes. Whereas patriotism could be, yes, I'm proud of my country, but I can also criticize it when it makes mistakes. And after actually going to the concert and doing a little bit more research, I found that he leans more so on the patriotic side rather than the fanatic side. That, and I gotta say, the music's just damn good. The Bruce Springsteen fans out there might be like, duh. But I was never really in an environment when I was younger where I would listen to that kind of music, so it was never really on my list. Happy to say, though, that after the concert, it's kind of turned me into a bigger fan. Was of course at the Wells Fargo Center. Been to this venue a bazillion times. What was cool was that the back part was normally blocked off. What they actually did for this one is it was more of a 360 kind of thing. And people would turn around and face the other side, which was really, really cool. I also think they did that so they could get more butts in seats, which props to them for doing that. I want to point out that the concert itself didn't really have any amazing special effects or visual aids, and this is one of those instances where I didn't really need it. I see why he gets the glowing reputation that he does. He's just a cool dude. At 73, he's in amazing shape. He still plays very well. His voice has this very natural, or I should say maybe unnatural, charismatic, gravelly sound to it. Though he's always had that. It's gotten a little rougher with age, but he's still really, really damn good. Guitar player in the entire world. He certainly knows how to put together the greatest backup band. The E Street Band was absolutely phenomenal. There was a point during the show where I saw this face of the guitar player and I thought, hey, wait, that guy looks familiar. Where do I know him from? And son of a bitch, I didn't realize this, but it was Silvio Dante from The Sopranos. I didn't know that Steven Van Zandt was the guitarist for Bruce Springsteen. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh man, he looks just like Silvio. I found out it was. What I also have to commend Bruce Springsteen for is just the fact that he played for almost 3 hours straight. There was one tiny little break that he took towards the midway of the performance, where he kind of talked about the first band that he ever performed with and how the other members are unfortunately dead. And he is the last man standing, and proceeded to play the song Last Man Standing, which I got to admit, it did make me tear up. genres of music that Bruce Springsteen would cover. Like, he wasn't just strictly rock. There was jazz, full brass band, backup choir, vocals. I mean, it was great. I could see why he's called the boss. He knows what the hell he's doing. He knows how to put together an amazing, amazing group of musicians to play with him and really, really enhance the experience. I kind of would have liked him to talk to the audience a little bit more. I always really like that. It makes things feel a little bit more personal. But at the same time, some people were probably paying outrageous ticket prices, and he wants to give them a hell of a show. So he played a lot of great songs. I didn't really start recognizing some towards like the midway point, like Wrecking Ball. No, not that one. Towards the end of the show, that's where he really started playing the big hits like Born to Run and, of course, Dancing in the Dark, which is my personal favorite. And after sitting through this incredible show full of some of the greatest musicians ever assembled on the planet, was it worth it? Hell yeah, it was worth it. With how fantastic and how memorable and enjoyable the show was overall, I get why people kind of go nuts over it. I get why, it took me 6 hours waiting in a queue to get tickets, or why people would pay exorbitant markup fees just for a chance to see him. I was blown away. I was absolutely blown away. And I walked out of that venue feeling fantastic. After that, it started to get me to actually go back and listen to more of Bruce Springsteen's music besides Born in the USA. If you can't afford the tickets or get tickets at a reasonable price, this is one of the greatest concerts that I think you'll ever get a chance to see. He's an American classic musician who's been around for a very long time. His ability to not just play, but to bring a band together, to bring people together, speaks to why he's been so popular for so very long. So if you get a chance and you can afford it, go for it. You won't be disappointed. To go ahead and quickly bring our video to a close here, I just want to go over any band merchandise that I had purchased. We have the Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band 2023 tour shirt. We see a nice photo, and of course we have the tour dates on the back. I did also end up getting this nice little gem as well. There's nothing too fancy about it. It just says Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band 2023 tour on the little circle here. Nothing really on the back, but I like the fact that it's orange. I actually mistook it for Philadelphia Flyers merchandise when I first saw it, so that caught me by surprise, but this one's really nice. So that brings us to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.